I'm coming before you tonight about the Korean airline massacre, the attack by the Soviet Union against 269 innocent men, women, and children. There was absolutely no justification, either legal or moral, for what the Soviets did. If every passenger plane is fair game for home air forces, it will be the end to civil aviation as we know it.
President Ronald Reagan went toe-to-toe with the Russians back in 1983 over their terror attack on a Korean airline. So what can the president learn from that? Will he throw down the gauntlet and demand the truth, or continue half-hearted sanctions? Joining us now is Fox News legal analyst Peter Johnson.
Good morning,
Jr.
Elizabeth. We have an expectation, a reasonable expectation, of strong, decisive leadership from this president today, who appears to be missing in action, more and focused on Democratic fundraising than the crisis at hand. So here is what I think Americans anticipate today in our prescription for truth, what the president should be doing. He needs to address the nation and the world today. He needs to call out Putin and demand the truth immediately. He needs to call for an immediate investigation to identify the murderers and demand United Nations action. They demand action against us on everything else, us in Israel. He needs to mobilize the American allies, people who lost people in this plane crash in condemnation of Russian-sponsored terrorism. That's how the president needs to act, in a forceful, decisive way that affirms American exceptionalism and American life today.
Will he indeed stand up to Putin?
I don't believe that he will, and I think there'll be half-hearted measures. We've had some sanctions. Putin nevertheless continued to send armaments to these folks, and now we have the effects of it. Apparently, but without State Department confirmation, 23 lost American souls.
That's right. What's your prescription for justice?
The prescription for justice is a simple thing. Stronger sanctions that we can enforce. Iran-style extreme banking sanctions. Shut down their credit. Shut down their banking system. Shut down their stock market, the way the stock market plummeted yesterday. Expanded energy sanctions. 70% of their economy is based on energy.
Yes.
A widespread asset freeze of the Russian elites, the oligarchs. And missile defense. This is something the president doesn't want to talk about. Missile defense for Poland and the Czech Republic.
Yes.
And finally, indict the murderers. Extradite the murderers. Bring them to the United States. The president and Attorney General Holder loves to use the civil justice system. Let's indict those people and let's try them for murder here in the United States based on terrorism against a commercial aviation vehicle.
Well, we've seen where other investigations have gone when it comes to Eric Holder.
Absolutely. I think the president needs to take a page out of Ronald Reagan, but also take a page out of JFK, who was strong and decisive during the 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis, and he told the Russians where to go. Watch this.
I call upon Chairman Khrushchev to halt and eliminate this clandestine, reckless, and provocative threat to world peace and to stable relations between our two nations.
The president has an opportunity, Elizabeth, to reset relations today. He needs to show empathy for the American people and for all the lost peoples, but he also has to show energy and commitment to first American principles. This cannot stand, and the president needs to stand up, mano a mano, eye to eye, toe to toe, to Putin today, now.
Global leadership is called for indeed.
Looking for it.
Peter Johnson, Jr., thank you.